Hey Ezra. Alright, so you asked me if I thought your friend was being it doesn't sound like she's your friend really. I think you said you actually kinda hate her. So this person that appears on your news feed and Facebook, um, whether or not she was helpful in posting that um that post about women having sex with a bunch of people. Um I don't I don't know. I don't think, from what you said, it doesn't sound like she's being helpful at all. Um, she doesn't seem to really be educated on on the topic. It just sounds like she's repeating a bunch of things that have already been said several times. And it doesn't. That being said, she's probably not out there supporting the cause. Like, she's not out there. If she isn't educated, she probably about this. She probably isn't being she probably isn't, excuse me, she probably isn't educating anybody else either. Um, so she's kind of saying empty words, right? Sort of empty words right now. Um, that being said, even if she was spreading a message to women to respect themselves and pick, pick one partner or be monogamous, it's still really not any of her. It's not any of her business at all. Um, it might not be her choice to go out and have sex with everyone she meets, or even just a handful of people that she does know, open relationships and all that. It's, yeah, she really shouldn't be saying anything, especially if she's doesn't have like if she doesn't have the personal experience behind it, or if she, I don't know, it's kind of difficult. I just don't think she should be saying anything, because it's a personal choice, and really, I don't, even though it's not my choice to go out and have sex with any number of people, I don't feel that it's right to go around and say you're doing something bad because you're sleeping with 11 people, or two people even, or four, something like that. It's not my body. I can't tell you what to do with your body. I can't tell her what to do with her body, or any other woman or man for that matter. I can't tell anyone what to do with their body. Um I think that as long as um the women and men who are having sex with multiple people, as long as it's consensual, as long as it's safe, because no one wants to get pregnant without that intention. Um, yeah, I think those are the top two things. As long as it's safe and consensual, I have no problem with it. Um, that being said, um, I feel like if actually I need to add one more thing to that list. If as long as the person's emotions are, as long as it's clear that no relationship is going to come of the act of sex, and that's kind of a no strings attached deal basically. As long as that is clear, and no one's going to be hurt emotionally. Um, because if someone's feelings are at risk, like if they believe that if they keep having this kind of relation with this person, that the relationship will eventually turn into something more, then we have issues. And I don't know. I'm on the same page as you. Like, I think sex is more of an intimate thing rather than a pastime. So, um, I don't know. I feel like if it's purely pleasure that's being sought and not like contact with another person per se, there are other options that could spare the emotions of the other person or yourself for that matter. their toys, their fingers, their, just like anything that feels good. It doesn't have to be another person, like putting their hands all over you. It could be you, and then everything would be okay. I think anyway. So yeah, I don't think that girls should be posting that kind of thing. It happens all too often on Facebook, though, unfortunately. Like, not just with slut shaming, but with, probably, I think politics, too. Like, the people are just, like, talking out of their ass, basically. They don't have any idea what they're talking about. They're not necessarily active supporters of what they are posting about. They're just like, it's a thing. I'm helping. I'm spreading the word. Yeah, you are spreading the word, but you're not out there advocating for women's rights. You're not out there advocating for that political party. You're not really helping. Honestly, you're just perpetuating something and waiting for someone else to take action on that something. And while that's good and dandy, I don't think that's a big help. Not really. For your ranting video, I was watching it and I was like, oh my god, those guys are pigs and they're awful and horrible and why would they think that? But then as I continued watching and near the end of your video, I was like, well, actually I shouldn't be that surprised about this. That the guys who stumbled upon the vagina monologues on YouTube are thinking, oh, this is really gross. They're talking about vaginas and periods and like body parts and women's rights. This is really unattractive to me. And I'm thinking about it, and at least in the U.S. and several other places in the world, I am certain, though I cannot speak for those other places because I've never lived there. It's a very male-centered world where things are built pretty much by men for men. Maybe not by men exactly, but built for men because they're the dominant creatures or whatever. And as our society keeps growing up, I feel like that's changing, and that's a wonderful thing, but with that change, a mindset change needs to become necessary, and it doesn't necessarily seem that that's made the rounds yet. So, of course, the guys are, not all guys, but like, the people who commented on the YouTube video of the monologue that you were talking about. I've never read these, so it's on my list. But the people who are commenting on that YouTube video, of course they're gonna think that they're the intended audience for these monologues, which isn't true. Like you said, it's for women. I don't know, as women, we have a unique experience in life, and men know that we have periods, and we go through all these different changes and like emotional ups and downs, all that fun stuff, but I don't think they necessarily know what goes on in our heads, and I don't know, I think it's mostly, not having read the vagina monologues, I think it's mostly out there so women like you and me can see them and think, I've thought the same thing, I've experienced the same thing, I am not weird, this is normal, it's a good thing. It's nothing to be ashamed about. I don't need to be afraid of my body, I don't need to listen to this other guy that's saying that's not attractive, you're not doing it right. I'm kind of talking out of my ass right now, if you haven't noticed, so I should read the vagina monologues, and then I will know exactly what you're talking about, and I will be able to join that conversation much better than I have in the past. So I'm gonna go educate myself a little bit before I say any more, and this video is 10 minutes long. Yay! Alright, Ezra. I don't know when I'm gonna see you in person. Because you said something came up for Thursday, so I can't see you on Thursday. So I'll have to find another time. But I'm sure I'll see you pretty soon. Ooh, 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 I was gonna... Ouch, ouchie, ouchie. My foot fell asleep. I've recorded this video once before, and then I was, like, not talking. I was kind of talking like this, like I didn't have my thoughts all together, you know, like that. Like I would probably usually do. And I forgot that I was telling you that I'm talking like it again. That I'm gonna work on my psychology today, and I wrote my first paper last Thursday, turned it all in, and I read about periods and the early development of women, or girls into women. So I wrote my paper about that. And it was kind of, maybe not shocking, but eye-opening. Like the different things, girls who develop early, like me, who got my period at 9 years old. Like the different things we're more likely to experience, as opposed to the girls who develop a little bit later than us. So, like, girls who develop early are more likely to smoke, to drink, to start dating early, have earlier sexual experiences, to have friendships with older people, or just, like, I don't know, interact with older people by choice. What else was there? More likely to have depression or other mood disorders. Yeah, that type of thing. And I wrote my paper about, like, how at least a few of those things were true for me. Anyway, like early dating. Not... I haven't been diagnosed with mood disorders, but more and more as I've gotten older, I've just been feeling like stronger and stronger and stronger emotions until they're kind of all-consuming, and it begins to take a toll. And I've discovered that as I've got older, it gets worse. So I'm trying my best to control that now. But I noticed that, and what was the other thing? Oh, having older friends preferring to engage with older people. So, like, I have a better time with adults than I do with, like, people your age, people my age even, people Shannon's age. I have an easier time talking with adults, and I don't know why, but it's a thing. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on these, whatever you want to call it. I just found it fascinating and a little scary, and I'd like to perpetuate this conversation as well as continue our sex talk, because I find it kind of fun. So, alright, this is 13 and a half minutes.